Aye.
I make a motion to accept the minutes from 11:18.
Aye.
Seconded.
Was moved and second to approve the minutes from 11/18/2020. Any discussion?
Sarah, your computer screen is showing that this meeting is being recorded and it's covering up the minutes.
If you guys see that on the screen, keep the meeting, keep going with the meeting, and then it will go away. Okay. That is fixed. Is that fixed for everyone?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So it was moved and second to approve the minutes from 11/18/2020. Any discussions? Hearing none. All in favor to approve the minutes from 11/18/2020, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. Minutes approved. Okay, now let's move to our today's agenda. Would you zoom in a little bit, Savannah, please? Okay. So after the first after our last General Assembly meeting, a new rule was made that every person who wants to send to present something in the meeting, they have to send their agenda items ahead of time. So those people you see with no agenda items to talk about, it's either they did not send their agenda items on time or they do not have something to report today. So those of us who did not send in their agenda items on time, I encourage us to do better next time.
So I have a question, President Benema. The deadline for these agendas has been set in our calendar as 1 hour before the meeting starts.
Is that so?
I brought it up in a couple of emails. The reminder for us is set at the time frame that it's actually due. So when we get the reminder, it's already too late to submit it.
Okay. Secretary Moran, I think, I hope you understand that problem and try to fix it for future meetings.
Yes, it will be fixed.
Thank you. So with that being said, if it's presented there was some technical issues with sending agenda items, would you guys like to add things on the agenda today, or would you like to keep the agenda the way it is?
I'm fine with allowing it to stay as it is.
Okay.
Aye.
Great. So today we have audience, and the way it's going to be, if it's your first time to be here with us, welcome. And if it's not your first time, welcome back. Just some housekeeping for the new ones. We are going to first get reports from SJ members, and then at the end, we will get some time for audience to give their comments where the cursor is on the public comment. So if you have a comment or if you want to speak in this meeting and you're not SJ member, I encourage you to send a message to Nadine, a private message on chat to Nadine to let her know that you want to speak. And then we get to you once we SJ members are done recording. Oh, good. Okay, I will take a silence as a yes. And with that being said, let's hear a report from, okay, well, I am one of the people who did not submit their agenda items on time. I was out of the country. I did not have stable internet. So I will report next time. Now let's hear from Secretary and Treasurer Moran.
So this is the current updated 2021 services and activities fee budget. We start off with the admin and salaries. This is a balance.
Hey, Savannah. Sorry to interrupt. Would you like to zoom in a little bit? It's a bit
Yes.
small for people to read.
Ooh. Is that better?
Yeah, if you can move it there. No, you almost got it. There you have it. Yeah, that's so much better. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, now I can see. Okay, so we start off with the administration and professional salaries. This started with $83,823. We now have a balance of $52,830.79. Then we move down to student life operations, which now it started at $4,299 and we still have $4,299. We then go to media marketing and graphics. That started at $1,000 and it's currently still sitting at $1,000. SGA operations started at $77,080. We currently are at $59,086.06. Student Club Council started at $18,510. We're now at $13,972.98. Student activities and engagement was at $109,945. We're currently at $84,814.02. The diversity, inclusion, and equity started at $6,000, still has a balance of $6,000. Recreation, intramurals, and outdoor activities started at $20,253, still currently at $20,253. The community service and volunteering started at $5,500 and it's still at $5,500. Our academic programs, the honors program, was at $1,350 and we're still at $1,350. The academic and instruction TLC for the tutoring and learning center was at $44,310 and is currently at $28,579.70. The Skills USA team started at $18,510, still currently at $18,510, as well as PAS. And clubs was also at $18,510, but now it sits at $17,713.69. Athletics started at $296,160 and is at $151,075.87 for a total of $483,495.11 still left in the budget. And that will conclude this meeting's report.
Thank you, Savannah, for your report. Now back to the agenda, but before we, okay. Does anybody have a question on Savannah's report before we move on? Yes, Becca?
Didn't this budget get modified?
Okay.
No, we have not been officially told that we have to change the budget as of yet, so there is no changes made yet.
Okay.
Can you elaborate a little bit more to the rest of those who are not in here, who are aware of the financial constraints and what we're trying to do to get things in order?
Yeah, so as most of you know, obviously we had a decline this year in enrollment. That went down about 30%. I think the actual number is like 28.4%, but it left us having a huge issue with the budget that we had already allocated. So we sat down as a team and went back over the budget and cut it about 35% total. And we've currently been sitting on that waiting. We have yet to be told that we have to actually take money away. People are still not spending as much due to travel being restricted and things due to COVID. So we have not officially had to make these cuts, but they're aware that this might happen. So we're kind of in limbo with that.
Okay. Does that answer your question, Chad?
I mean, it answered I knew the answer. I wanted the other people on the meeting to understand what was going on who hadn't been a part of this. So thank you, Savannah. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Thank you, Chad, for asking for clarification for the rest of the team. Becca, your question was answered?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, let's get back to the agenda. And I see that Senator Poveran does not have something under his name as well, so he's not reporting anything today. Let's hear report from Senator for Arts and Sciences, Manny.
All right. So before the break, I met with the Dean and Assistant Dean of Art and Sciences. And we discussed a lot about how to get more in touch with students. So I also made a Microsoft form to send to arts and science students for their feedback on how to change or how to get more activities and projects in arts and sciences. And I went over that with President Benamana yesterday, and I'm planning on sending it this week. And I also worked on the introductory video of myself, and I'm gonna send that out this week as well. Oh, and we also have the idea of including like an arts or science different workshops to do over Zoom, just for more activities for arts and science students to do during lockdown. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that wonderful report, Senator Manny. Anybody have a question on her report or clarification? Hearing none, let's move on to the report from Senator for Disability, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Trevino.
Hi, everyone. So I just have a couple things to report on today. The Pride Flag initiative that I was working on to get, the college to raise a pride flag has been put on hold for now. It's not a no, it's more like a not right now, due to a lack of policies in place to protect from other groups coming forward and wanting their flags raised as well, that might not send the message of inclusion and diversity and equity. So that's on hold for right now. I've been working with our director of EDI, Margarita, to to kind of see like where that's at. So I still have to touch base with her, but this has been kind of a busy week with MLK and everything. So I'll probably get in contact with her next week and see where we're at with that. And in terms of the Safe and Brave space, President Benamana and I talked about it. Was it last week? I think. I believe it was last week. My days get really jumbled up in quarantine, so forgive me for that. But yeah, we talked about our Safe and Brave space and having a space where people can have like more difficult questions and kind of create a community where we're able to express and ask questions and learn and grow together. But we had the thought that due to everything going on right now in the political climate, that students might be burnt out with all of the stuff going on, and people might not want to engage in difficult conversations right now. So we were thinking of maybe like shifting it a little bit and like what we could do to like maybe provide more of a sense of community and maybe hold off on like the difficult conversations for now, but maybe also see if there's an interest in wanting to engage in the difficult conversations right now. I know for myself personally, I am a little burnt out with like the whole political climate. It's a lot of emotional labor on top of everything else. But yeah, that's where we're at with that. I wanted to ask and see what maybe if I can do this, I'm not sure, but like maybe hear from some of you, some of the other senators and maybe vice president and stuff, like what you all think about that.
Okay. Thank you, Susanna. So what do you guys think about this Safe and Brave space? Considering what is happening for now, we thought we can just put a hold on it and maybe start it next quarter. But we would love to hear what you guys think, or if you have any questions or clarifications about it.
Yeah, I definitely agree that there's a lot going on right now politically. And so yeah, I do agree with the sentiment that there's probably a lot of students that are burnt out.
So I'm a fan of the Safe and Brave space. I know on other campuses as well that if you have something like this, you also have something called like a political free speech alley. So where people can go and speak their mind, whatever it is, right, wrong, indifferent. So it kind of cuts both ways, similar to the flag. While I support both amendments, we just need to be cognizant of those if we were to walk that path, but I'm supporting of it.
I see it being a good idea as well. It's the same thing that Equality Club did as well. With the Safe and Brave space, they were able to have access to on-campus resources and a little extra funds to help them.
And I did look into because our director of EDI, Margarita, had brought up a it's an intergroup. It's called it's like intergroup dialogue or something like that, and it's a program out of a university. I think it was Minnesota or Montana. Sorry, I'm forgetting what state, but it was a program that teaches people, students, how to have difficult conversations, how to listen, And I thought about, because they do have a program that you can take to learn how to create these spaces and these environments. And they're holding it in the summer. I think it starts in June. It's a few classes on Zoom. It's like 4-hour classes. And it's mostly for faculty, I believe, but the program does cost, it was between like $2,000 to $4,000, which, you know, I want to touch base with maybe some of the faculty and see if, because I know with the recent funding that we received, you know, I know that they are going to be looking for different programs to bring on. So, you know, maybe that would be a good program to look into, you know, not necessarily saying that we have to like go with that program, but look into programs like that we could bring on campus to start creating more of that dialogue and that like space for people to learn how to talk about difficult things, but also learn how to listen as well. So that's something else I'm going to be probably talking with Margarita about, and maybe some other faculty. But yeah, that's what I have. And thank you all for your insight as well.
Thank you so much, Susanna. Before we move on, does anybody else have any questions, concerns about our report? Hearing none, let's move on to hear report from our Student Club Council Chair Tibets.
So I just wanted to let everybody know that the clubs will be doing a raffle this year if they are in good standings. And all I was going to do is do a little shout out. So when it does start happening, if this is something that anybody would like to partake in or purchase raffle means from the clubs, then there will be more information. This is a fundraising opportunity for all of the clubs on campus as well. And through difficult times with funding and stuff, this is helping them build up their signature project with whatever they plan to do at the end of the year or throughout the years. And then also I have to report becoming a member for students. If you would like to become a member, join or enroll in the Canvas course through Canvas. And the link is https the 2 dots / wwcc instructor.com/enroll /for capital M, capital R, capital Y. And this will ensure that you are up to date with all of the clubs and their activities. When you go to join into a student group, it will let me know that you have registered under this group, and I could contact you with the advisor. And this way you won't go unnoticed to the club, and then they will be able to give you the information of when they meet and etc. But that's all I have to report.
Thank you so much, Becca. If you have that website with that link handy, would you like to share it in the chat for people to have access to it, please? Okay, thank you. Moving on our agenda.
I have a question.
Okay, yes.
So with the clubs, I was a part of a bunch of different clubs before pre-COVID. I was in like quite a few because I love being part of different groups and clubs and stuff, and it's fun to me. So I recently got an email asking because I guess, is there a couple clubs that are like partnering up and like holding their clubs together, since there is like a lack of like engagement right now. Do you know anything about that?
Well, so I've talked to Clarkson campus because a lot of our clubs are allowed to co-join with each other. It's something that Equality Club used to do, Culture Club and International Students Association. Their membership was really low. And so we talked about possibly integrating both of them together if one campus has 3 members and the other one has 2, or whatever the numbers ratios would be. That way there is a lot more attendance for members and they would still be able to get funded. So it all depends where the students want to take these clubs though. It's not up to the advisors, it's more with the students, and that's something that is just hypothesized until it becomes a theory or the clubs actually start to practice it, but they have to actually reach that membership and the students agree to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question? Okay. Now, let's hear from our Assistant Director of Advising, Diana Herman.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
So nice to see actual student faces. It's been so long.
Welcome,
I see
Diana.
chat a lot. Thank you. So I am the Assistant Director for Advising here at the college. My job is overseeing advising in general. So any issues you have with advisors, they all end up being with me. So I'm in charge of advising. I oversee transfer as far as like transfer information for the process of transferring and all that kind of good stuff. I oversee communications for academic early alert, retention data. So if you forgot to register for classes, you're going to hear from me. But one of the larger projects that I'm overseeing at the college right now is our guided pathways efforts. And I don't know who all knows what that is. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of what that is. And I have a couple asks for you. So Guided Pathways is a national movement towards making college more accessible for students. In the history of higher education, it has traditionally been, we are here, we are the foundation, and you must come to us and try to figure this out. And a lot of the times, there are a lot of colleges out there that do not have mandatory advising like we do. Like, you must meet with somebody and get a code from somebody in order to register for classes. And a lot of colleges don't do that. So a lot of what students end up doing is kind of piecing some classes together and hoping they end up with a degree. At the end of the day, what we want for Guided Pathways to be is the opportunity for us as a college to express to current and potential students, we know that you come to college, not just for fun. Hopefully we get a little bit of fun out of it, but not just for fun. You're looking to improve your lives by getting the education or skills in order to get jobs so you can have a career and have good lives and buy homes if you want to, or travel the world, or whatever that vision for your life looks like. Our goal is to make that a seamless pathway for you where you can say, okay, this is what I want to do. This is the career I have in mind. This is the degree that I need for that. These are the classes that I need to take in order to achieve that goal. And what's that going to look like along the way? So we're working on that right now. We have a council that started in fall. We had our first meeting in the fall with many faculty members and representatives from across the college to talk about how do we move this forward and get break down the barriers to getting engaged with education, to make our information more seamless, our processes more seamless is a big part of that. And how do we make it so that we give you students a package that says, here's what you need. This relates to what you want, and this is how you're going to get it done. So we're in the process of working on that. Part of getting that job done is I need information. So I have two things to ask. One, I'd love to have a student representative on the council. We meet we meet once a month. The date's not really set because there's so many faculty involved. It's kind of, I look through calendars and try to figure out a date and time that works and send out a survey, and everyone who responds. I'm hoping we'll get something nailed down on a more regular basis, but right now it's seeming like it'll be the third week of each month, where we meet, talk about kind of status checks, what's our next move, what do we need to do, all that kind of good stuff. What I'm hoping a student can help provide us with is the reality check that we need. We eat, live, and breathe this stuff, so a lot of times we'll talk, I probably have used jargon during my spiel here. So I really, really want the student perspective behind what do our processes look like to you? How easy or hard are they to use? What do you need from us? Where are our gaps at? Who are we missing here? That's the big question behind guided pathways, is how do we make this accessible and to everyone? Equity is a huge, huge part of this. State board is pushing it. It's in the laws, it's in the guidelines for everything that we're doing. So one, I need a representative if I can get one. If you would bless me with arranging that, that'd be fantastic. The other question that I have for you and more discussion point is information gathering. What's the best way to get some information? And specifically, I want to know, how does advising look to you as students? What's good, what's bad, what needs work on, what more do you want from that? And also, what's important to you when it comes to planning your education? What are those key points that you want to be able to access easily? And you don't have to provide the answers right now, but how would I go about getting that information from our student body? Wait.
Have you guys tried a survey?
Not yet. Where would I put that survey? Like, is Canvas working? I know it feels like we've done a ton of surveys via Canvas lately. Is that accurate?
You can use Canvas or email, but I agree. I think a lot of surveys have been done, but during this time, I don't know how else you could get that information, really. I mean, people aren't on campus. There's no interaction. I'm fortunate because I do have labs, so I can see people who are in my specific area, but being able to reach out and touch people, if you have a small social circle, or if you're a faculty member and a student, it's very difficult to get that, obviously, the face-to-face connection. So it's very impersonal at the moment, and it's a survey, and I know a lot of students are not very inclined to do the surveys. Unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's not like I can, get a bunch of pizza and sit y'all down with Jan Kruper or with Devin Gustafson and say, all right, let's talk. Let's get some data.
Yeah, because the pizza works.
I know. If I can figure out how to deliver everyone pizza, that'd be awesome.
Well, if your budget allows it and they signed up for it, you can force them to a Zoom meeting, maybe.
Have you tried the word polls?
The word polls?
Yeah, where so you send out a number where students are able to text it, and then you have them text one number that they find intriguing or they dislike about advising, and then next thing you know, it builds up a whole big word pool, and the more people who submit the same word, the bigger the word grows. I forget, it's like doodle poll or something like that. I don't really remember the name of what it's called, but I'm pretty sure Jan Kruper uses it at times. A lot of the instructors do on campus.
I will ask her about that.
It's a different way instead of doing surveys where students might feel a little bit more interactive, or they have that not so much, okay, now I'm going to have to stare at another screen. They already have their phones in their hand most of the time, and I'm sure a lot of the population more enjoys texting and just that little social outlet.
Okay. That's cool. That sounds really cool. I'll ask Jan about that. That's awesome. And I'm so sorry about the survey fatigue, which also brings me to timing. Because it's not like I have this thing ready to rock for next week. Like, that ain't gonna happen. But I was thinking if I could align it with advising and registration time, that to give everyone a little bit of a break between surveys. Hopefully there's not another one coming out. Any thoughts on that, on timing, like tying it into the registration process, like having advisors, like, don't forget to do the survey. Tell them how good a job I did.
That's a great idea. If you could force their hand whenever they come into advising, and before you give them their number, you have them fill out this little paper or a Scantron or whatever, and then that incorporates part of the advising element right there. I think you might be able to get a lot more participation from students because they're already there with the advisor, and they know if they don't fill this out, they won't be able to register for the next quarter. So, I mean, you could put them on it like that. I like that idea, honestly.
Incentivize the after survey. Like, a lot of people like incentives to do surveys, more or less making them be able to get a hold of their classes for the next time. I'll be like, okay, well, I'll find the code myself. As like self-advising, you know. At least the little perks, especially being in COVID times, a lot of families might need the additional help.
I think, I know in the past we have, for surveys, students get entered into a raffle in order to get that. I am not above bribing. I am happy to bribe people. If I was on campus, it'd be the biggest pizza party ever, guys, I swear. But I think that's a good idea for incentivizing and tying it to registration time, because then that makes it one time period that we're opening it. It's fresh in everyone's minds, hopefully, about what their experience is. So cool. Do you have any questions for me on guided pathways off of the short spiel that I gave you?
Is it already implemented, or is it like in the works to be implemented?
It is in the works to be implemented. I would say the part where we have integrated the most guided pathways information is in our intake process with, well, this year's been hard. COVID has made intake really, really hard. We were really onto something pre-COVID when we had days where everyone came in and met one-on-one with a person to walk through the process and talk about what are you needing? Let's make sure we got everything in place. That has been really hard to do in COVID land. You can see this is my home office. So there's interruptions and we're all get distracted and that kind of stuff. That's where we put a lot of effort into it. The work that we have done is providing career and educational pathways on our website. We have a new icon. If you go to our website and scroll down a little bit, there's an icon that says educational pathways. We've organized our pathways of study into different areas of study, and then with a breakdown of here's the programs we have, here's the types of degrees you can get, and then that all links to department pages which need work. That's next on my agenda. The thing that we're working on right now in part of the larger group is program maps for transfer pathways. So you, as a student, you wanted to study psychology, you would go to the department page, click on a program map, and there's all the courses, the recommended courses to get you ready for a major in psychology. Same for education, history. We have a lot of health tech programs that we so need, that we have draft programs for. So those are in the hands of faculty right now for them to review, make sure I'm not missing something. I'm sure I'm missing something. And then get feedback on that. After faculty tell me what's wrong with them, I'd really like to get it in the hands of some students to see, do they make sense? Are they somewhat easy to read? What are we missing? That's always going to be my question. Where are the gaps? What are we missing? Who's not invited to the table here? Who do we need to include? What are we missing? Those are always going to be my questions every time I ask that.
So
Anything else? Yeah.
I have something slightly on topic, but kind of off a little bit. So when
Okay.
when you're getting advised, they tell you what courses you need. You're able to go to the college catalog and kind of see what the rough outline of that class is. I know for a lot of these classes, you're able to go into, I think it's like the e-catalog, and go underneath a specific course, and you can click on that. And there are several syllabuses. A lot of them haven't been updated recently. Some of them, even though they're active courses, and some of them have been. And you want to see what kind of like a rough outline of that class looks like, as a part than just the overall general conceptualization of what it would be. Is there any way that, because I know I've had some instructors speak with me in the past, like, we want to be able to get this syllabus out to you sooner, but Canvas doesn't allow us to release the course any sooner than that. So some people are behind in buying their books and everything. So, I mean, it produces a whole litany of areas that you could dive into. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be like the internet technology folks, or if that's something that you could have in your hand of play to help facilitate getting those uploaded.
So I don't want to overwhelm you, but my big dream. So we're talking about a 3-year process for guided pathways before we hopefully arrive at the big picture of fully implemented guided pathways. It is part of how we do business. It is part of how we think about curriculum design, degree design, all that kind of good stuff. So, okay, zoom into the future with me. My big dream would be every student, when you identify what pathway you want to go on, if that's a workforce program doing welding or diesel, or an ag program, or if you are looking on, I'm doing a biology pathway so I can go to dentals, be a dentist. Within your student information, you've got your plan of here's the degree you're taking, here's the layout of classes, all in one spot. I think we're going to get there with our new technology, all in one spot where you do have the classes, and when you click on the classes, it takes you to your information where your syllabi is updated. So that's all in one spot. Here's your plan, here's the classes, here's the information, course description, but also here's the syllabi that's available. Our current practices right now, it's kind of clunky. We have a very old back-end system, and not all faculty get their syllabi uploaded so that they show up into the e-catalog. Canvas is outside of our control. It's by a third party, so we can't control when that releases. But if in CTC Link, if we can really use this new system that we're going to get, that's what I'm hoping we're going to get to, is that it's all integrated into one spot. Does that help?
It does. I look forward to the future.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you for that explanation. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, would you be able to send us an email with the questions you asked so we could get you a response?
Yes. Who do I send that to? Do I send it to Nadine, or do I send it?
Nadine or Sarah, and they could facilitate it to us.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Send them my way, and let's connect. Also, we will to find someone like a,
That'd be awesome.
yeah, to find the student representative.
Yeah.
And I am so happy you're excited to have a student perspective on the team too.
Yeah. You know, it's been very piecemeal in the last few years. It's been kind of, we start a chunk and then we're like, okay, what are we doing next? And then we start a chunk and then and then something changes. this is probably the most momentum we've ever had. So I'm hoping to keep it going. It's really important to me that we have the student perspective on it because this is about you. Like it's really like it's about you. It's about us making this easier for you. So it's really important to me that we get your perspective and what your needs are and that we do everything we can to meet those needs.
Yeah, it's important. Thank you so much, Diana, working on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm super excited for the future too. It's going to be amazing.
Okay, and I'm just gonna say, I heard your fatigue on politics and the situation of the world, but if anybody caught the, I don't know if you caught the inauguration ceremony today, it's worth watching. Had it going while I was working.
Yeah, you guys check it out. It's good. At least it's peaceful so far.
Yes, it is. It's very different so far.
I like
Yeah.
the poet.
Yeah, like crazy good, right?
Poem was really good. I felt inspired. I was like, oh, yay. And also, if you guys haven't checked out the MLK video that EDI, the Tri-College put out on YouTube, I was crying. I was literally crying. I was like, this is so beautiful.
Love it.
To follow up with the MLK Day theme, Student Activities is holding a bunch of different meetings. I think they're having one right now, a conversation about, I'm not exactly sure what it revolves around, but it's in the same scope or highlight. I'm hoping to, once we jump off of here, to hop on it and see what they're working with.
Thank you, Chad. I appreciate the shout out to them. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Okay. Any other question for Diana? No? Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Diana. Let's connect after the meeting.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's keep in touch and get the student representative done and find ways of answering those questions. Yeah, stay in touch.
That'd be awesome. Thank you so much, guys. See you
Yeah.
later.
Yeah. Okay. So new business, 48 hours, 48-hour time mark for sending agenda items. I think I talked about, we kind of talked about it in the beginning of this meeting, but Savannah, if you'd like to expand more about it.
No, actually, I think you pretty much covered it, Sarah. I was just about to say, I think you kind of already went over that. So.
Okay, great. So just a reminder, especially for those of us who did not send in the items in time, from now on, we're going to be sending our agenda items 48 hours before the meeting. Secretary Moran is going to make a calendar event on and send an invite to all of us to kind of like as a reminder so that we won't miss it. So please, next time, I'm telling you, and I am telling myself as well, to follow this 48-hour rule to keep a meeting organized and be efficient as much as possible. I don't see anything in old business. Do we have any public comment?
No, I have not received any messages, so I don't believe there is any public comment.
Okay,
I have a question, President Venema.
go ahead.
So in our SGA or in our e-board meetings, new business and old business is allowed to be spoken on without agenda being sent in. Is that the same hold true here?
we may discuss about it and make a decision about it.
I would like to bring up one thing for new business, if possible.
Please go ahead.
So we have spoken and sent out emails in regards to the legacy project that we are wanting to have for SGA, and that includes senators, e-board members, student club council. I believe we have come to the conclusion, I don't necessarily know that a vote has been presented, that we will be doing a scholarship fund, which will carry on throughout the years. And we would like to make that $1,000 per semester, or per year. I would like to find some time this week or next where all of us can get together and discuss some of the details and what we would like, or how we would like to see that progress, and who we would like to gear the scholarship towards. And a lot of the details that are involved with that. I see Becca has a question or a statement.
I never received emails on this, so I would like to see the email thread on decisions being made about this.
Oh,
Can you pass that along to her, President Benema?
yes. I am so sorry, Becca. I thought I sent to everyone. That is my fault. I'm going to make sure I correct that after this meeting. I'm so sorry. I will do better next time.
With that being said, does this Friday, I know we have spoken about discussing it at our informal e-board meeting this Friday. Would we still like to do that, President Benema, or next Friday to give students the availability to plan around it?
I think Friday is a bit too soon, but if you guys are available, I would love it if you can make it. Otherwise, next week. Who would be available this Friday at 1 p.m.? Who can make it?
I'm available then.
You're available?
I'd be available, but Sarah, are we gonna skip the informal meeting then? Because that would be at 1 o'clock.
No, we can include this in the meeting.
Okay.
It's not gonna take the whole meeting, is it?
Calendar.
Or we can do next week.
Next Friday at the same time, 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
Our goal is to have this applications to the student body before this quarter ends and a decision made on it at the first part of the quarter, so that money can be distributed before the school year ends. So we're kind of in a cramped time for space with only 6 weeks being left in this quarter.
Yeah, so I would love it to be done as soon as possible too, but I don't want to make this a very sudden, like it was not on you guys' radar before this meeting, so I don't want to rush it. Who can make it on Friday?
I should be able to make it as well. I just have to double check that I don't have anything going on at 1. I'm pretty sure I don't, but I should be good.
I won't be able to make it.
You will not be able to make it
I
next
have
week?
yeah, next, not this Friday, but the next week, yes.
Okay. Let's plan on working on it next Friday. Everyone will have more time to prepare for it. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to bring them forward before the meeting or bring them to the meeting.
Thank you for allowing me to speak during this time. I appreciate it, President Benema, and thank you for all of the members of the council for hearing it.
Okay, and thank you so much, Tad, for bringing that up and heading that project. We are getting close to our meeting, and is there anything else you would not be able to live without saying today? Okay, if there is nothing else you guys would like to talk about, I would accept a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn today's Student Government Assembly meeting at
I'll second.
1:58.
It was moved and the
Aye.
second to adjourn the meeting, today's meeting at 4:58 p.m. Any discussions? Becca.
So I'm really confused with why there has to be a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting.
Oh, okay.
I think if I remember right, Sarah, I think Vince spoke to that, and I don't think we actually have to. If we're done, you can end the meeting.
Yeah, you can just end it. You say, I adjourn this meeting at said time and it's done.
Mhm. You can do either. Per parliamentary procedures, it's the preference of the chair to do either call for a motion, or they could on their own say, we're going to close the meeting and do that.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's the
Okay.
preference of the chair, I believe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, also one more thing about that. This meeting is like we we do not vote for a specific time to meet. So if the time is over, like everyone has the right to leave. So if I send the calendar invite and it's 1 to 2, if we still have more things to talk about, we can vote to keep the meeting going. Or if we finish before time or on time, we can still vote to adjourn the meeting. But I prefer to ask for a motion, but it's not just my meeting. So what do you guys have any better preference to go with it?
I just think that if we end on time, then it's easier to adjourn. You just say that you're ending the meeting and then we can dismiss rather. And if we do go over, then ask for time and then ask for a motion to adjourn that meeting. So then it's documented in the minutes because you asked for time.
Okay.
But seeing how we're within the boundaries, but that's just my guess.
Okay. Anybody else agree with Becca? If we end on time, like within the time limit, no need for a motion. If we go over, then we can make a motion to document it.
Yeah, I agree with Becca, Sarah.
Okay, then.
It doesn't matter to me.
Same. I just like saying aye.
Okay. We have 1-1. Senator Money, you're going to set the tie. So what is it going to be?
Yeah, I'm fine doing it how we've been doing it. I think it's fine this way.
Okay, then we will be doing all in favor. We will be taking a motion to adjourn the meeting from now on. It's official. Okay, so any more discussions? No, we haven't voted yet, Chad. We haven't said aye yet. So no more discussion. All in favor of adjourning the meeting, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. Meeting adjourned. See you next time.